Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celsius Podcast, starring Beck Lyons and Aiden Shoemaker, featuring Uri and Nicola, and guest starring Aryan. Say hello, Aryan.
Hi.
Hi, it's 48 degrees Fahrenheit right now. How's everybody tonight?
I'm feeling good.
In the neighborhood?
Sexy.
Cool,
I'm absolutely
I guess.
splendid today.
So,
Splendid.
Aryan, let's hear it from you. Who are you? Why did we bring you to our podcast? What's your deal, basically?
My deal is that I'm crazy and I love TV shows to a crazy degree. I have a list of over 80 TV shows I've watched and counting. I like mockumentaries, comedies. I watch way too much TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally relate to you about the TV. I love TV. Who doesn't love TV?
Yeah.
Old people,
But
white Christian parents.
so how do we know you? Who in our group knows you?
Nicola knows me.
And why
I've
did
never
Nicola?
met this man in my life.
Nicola, why did you bring
No,
him?
I actually know him. He's
Nicola,
in
why
my-
did you bring him to our podcast? What's
I
interesting
didn't.
about him?
Aiden Shoemaker brought him because they are in the same class
I
together,
did.
so he invited him that way.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
I live in Nicola's walls, so that's how he knows me.
That's pretty interesting.
I mean, both are true.
I'm sometimes I hear you are referred to Aryan of the Children's Theater. Is that correct?
That is a title I sometimes go by. Yes.
So you
It sucks.
In what situations do you go by the title?
what productions have
I
you
do.
been part of at the Children's Theater?
Many. First of all, I don't act because I am cool, and I stage manage shows. Right now, I'm stage managing the Nutcracker.
The Nutcracker, like the one with the music that everyone knows?
Yes, but it's not the dancing one, stage play one. So
Oh, I haven't seen either of them, so
yeah. Well, the ballet is kind of, you don't really know what's going on.
because it's a ballet. I don't know what's going on any time of the day.
So tell us what goes on in like the day of a life of like a stage tech kind of person.
Sure. Okay. I get there a little bit earlier than everyone else, and I kind of set things up. There are fly rails, which fly in like set pieces from the ceiling on wires. So I do that, and then I set up the lights. And during rehearsals, I take notes of everything that's needed to make sure that they have it during the performances, like props, costume. I basically am just there to solve any problem that's there.
And so what type of problems do you find?
Some kids lose their scripts. Some kids just don't know what's going on. People don't know their lines, so I say their lines. Occasionally, I will stand in for an actor for a scene, so I will walk where they will walk and talk say what they'll say.
So you've been doing this for how long?
5 years, 5 or 6 years.
Okay. And so do you feel like this is something you want to continue doing? Or for the rest of Yeah.
For the rest of what?
For the rest of your life, I don't know.
No, not for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of community theater in college, but
Okay.
What's your favorite production that you've been a part of?
Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Ooh, what's that about?
And Technicolor Dreamcoat?
It's about this guy from ancient Egypt who was technically a pharaoh's son who was given away, and he found this coat that had a bunch of colors, and he got like famous in the town, and then he met the pharaoh. And then the version that I did, the pharaoh was like Elvis, like a little bit. He had Elvis vibe.
Ah. What are Elvis vibes?
You don't know Elvis vibes, Uri? Have you ever seen an Elvis before?
Not live because he died on the.
He's like if Johnny Bravo was less thirsty for women and more thirsty for music.
Accurate description.
Yeah, spoiler for the
Yeah.
Elvis movie.
He's like,
He dies.
"Oh, mama."
What?
Did he die on the
What?
toilet in the
No.
movie?
Does he die on?
I don't know. All I know is he dies.
He dies? I can't believe Elvis dies. That's an unforeseen thing. Have you guys seen the Weird Al
No.
movie?
Weird Al.
I have not.
He dies in that one too.
Wait, what?
Historically accurate.
So Aryan, thanks for telling us about you. So now we're gonna do the segment of what we're watching in our group. So like you can do TV or movies or something you've recently seen or you just want to talk about. So let's start off with you. What are you talking about? What are you watching?
A lot of things. I started a TV show called The White Lotus.
Oh,
I heard of it.
HBO.
I saw it. It was very good.
It's really good. So season 2 has 4 episodes right now. I really, really like the show. It's, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's like a satire kind of, it's not like really comedy, but it's like satire comedy, and it's like a little bit of a murder mystery. And the way that the episodes are framed, they're like an hour long episode. They have like 4 storylines going on at the same time and kind of blend.
That sounds hype. I might actually check that one out. That's the first recommendation from all of us that actually sounds interesting.
I would say
Yeah.
that actually, it's funny that you mentioned it. That actually, like 2 weeks ago, I saw the first season, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was very interesting. It was a neat story.
Definitely. The second season's so far not as good, but
No?
it's still really good.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to check out season 2 when I can. So let's go to Beck. What are you watching?
I am currently watching primarily 2 TV shows. I started watching season 1 of Futurama because I got that recommended to me a
Yo.
lot.
I love Futurama.
Yeah. And then I also started watching Inside Job because part 2 just came out. And
Yo, I love Inside Job.
and Uri and Aiden recommended it to me.
It's so goated. It has the BoJack Horseman and Gravity Falls guy as producers
Yeah.
on the show. That's a stacked cast right there, and that's just 2 people.
Wait, how many people here have seen BoJack Horseman? Same.
I have not seen
I'm
this, but I
ashamed
want
that
to.
the other 3 haven't.
Neither have I, but I do want to start it.
Definitely.
It's on my list. I have a list of like 5 things I'm prepared to
Yeah.
watch in the upcoming
We
weeks, and
should
that's
binge it
on
together.
there.
Nice.
It's honestly really
Not
good.
gonna do that.
We could do like maybe
It's so
episode
good.
I'm not gonna
reviews,
binge
you
it
know?
with someone.
Yeah, I watched it with my mom for a while. The first season, that she liked it in the beginning, and then it got too depressing for her since she stopped watching it.
It is a very depressing show.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aiden, what are you watching?
I suppose Inside Job as well. I just watched season 2 because that came out. Prior to that, Amphibia. But that's about it. I was gonna start something this coming week.
So I would say I've also been watching the part 2 of Inside Job. You know what I find really interesting about that show? Is that how much world building they give it, like, very quickly and very naturally world building. Like, they kind of take the idea as, like, there are definitely conspiracies that are true around the world, but they do the conspiracies in a different way. And, yeah.
Mhm.
And so, like, for example, like, the moon landing was fake, but not because they just wanted to make, like, hope for, like, against the Soviets. They did have a moon landing, but the guy who, like, what's his name? the Armstrong.
Buzz Aldrin.
Neil
So
Armstrong.
yeah, he like went rogue and actually was on the moon and has his own like community of like commune of people. And I find that really interesting.
Yeah, they have some clever ideas in there.
Okay, so
I like the characters. I think they're pretty cool. I like Brett. He's my favorite character. He's just a guy. No other personality traits except for Golden Retriever, and that's my kind of character right there.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't like Brett, but then I actually really like him.
I think that's kind of his character,
Mhm.
the point of his character. That yeah.
Is that he's so unlikable? He's
No,
likable
like he's more
by
like
being
he's like
likable.
he's supposed to be like maybe the white male privileged guy that you're just gonna hate in the first episode, I guess, because he's taking away like Reagan's job. But then you
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Nicola, what are you watching?
Something I literally watched right before I came to this podcast was on Netflix. It's called All Quiet on the Western Front. It's described as a 1917 meets Saving Private Ryan. It's pretty much about a 17-year-old boy that goes to the Western Front of World War One, and his entire life is shattered. And it was pretty interesting.
That makes sense.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie.
So any like famous actors in it or anybody like that?
It's a German. It's like all in German, except with English titles. It's
Wow.
starring Felix
All
Kammerer,
names.
Albert Schurch, and Aaron Hilmer.
You can't forget about Daniel Bruh.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
he plays. Wait, doesn't he play
That's-
like Zemo? I don't know.
Does
Does
he?
he? In like the
Does he?
Marvel?
Does I'm looking.
He does. He does
It
play
doesn't
Zemo.
look.
does.
Oh.
So
You can ask
I actually
Aryan
wanna-
about anything from Marvel. He will
I-
know.
I want to
He's a big
transition
Marvel
to
fan.
talk about Marvel. So, Aryan, are you a Marvel fan?
I would call myself a Marvel fan to a
He's a Marvel stan.
unhealthy.
He is one of those
Yes,
people.
Marvel stan.
Are you
to an unhealthy degree?
are you a comic fan or a movie fan or both?
Yes, and TV show,
Okay.
everything.
Damn.
Okay, that's good. Good that you're not just like a Marvel movie fan.
Yeah.
I mean those are good. But
I have a bunch of different comics, and so does my brother. So we have a ton of Marvel comics.
Damn.
I have a singular Spider-Man comic against the Vulture.
That's
I
impressive.
have like a collection of comics of Spider-Man in one big like book.
Oh, I have that one too.
Yeah.
So, like it's like a thick book of like the first like
Yeah.
bunch of issues.
Yeah. So I have a question. So we kind of talk about this in our second episode, I would say. So what do you think about the saturation of like Marvel movies? Do you think that they make, or like TV shows, do you think they make too much nowadays? Do you think their quality has gotten decreased over time? What do you think?
I definitely think they're going for quantity over quality lately. I don't think that it's been like the quality has gone down like significantly, but you definitely see a little bit of a drop. But
It's the Disney way. Pump out things as quickly as possible that are good and selling well, and cancel anything that doesn't meet your needs.
Yeah.
and it's not like they're not selling well still, even though the quality has gone down a little bit. So
No, yeah, they're still popping off.
Yeah.
What would you say about like the kind of like the hate that wait, I have a question. Have you seen all the Marvel TV shows?
I have seen everything Marvel up to date,
Okay.
including Black.
That's wait, by everything does that include like Netflix shows and like movies that aren't in like MCU, like Ghost Rider?
Well, have you seen
not
all of
currently.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, I have to get to all of those. I have seen all the things in the like major, like the main MC.
Wow, and you call
Okay.
yourself
Okay.
a Marvel fan.
Hasn't seen Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage.
Hasn't been 6 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that isn't really good until like season 4.
I do want to get into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've seen so much stuff about it.
Clearly isn't a big
I
enough
feel like
fan.
it's like too late to
You
get
have
to
lost
Agents
your
of
Marvel
S.H.I.E.L.D.
license.
I don't know. You can rewatch a show at any point.
I know, but
I
like,
think-
does anybody
okay,
really
that's-
care about Agents of Shield?
Wow, I watched it. I'm not proud of watching it,
Yeah, but
but I
does
watched
anybody actually
it.
want to watch it? You
What?
might have watched it, but are you happy that you watched it?
No.
No, it is not that good of a show. It was good at like the end, but like it was only good because the rest of it was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's upsetting. It was mediocre.
It had some good ideas at some point, but overall, pretty mediocre.
No, yeah, I watched like maybe like 3 seasons of it, and I think the main interesting part is like that guy who we think is a good guy, but he turns out to actually be a bad guy.
Yeah,
And so
great for
I
not
feel
saying
like-
the guy's name.
I don't remember because I saw this a long time ago. It definitely has some ideas, but I think it's kind of flawed it was flawed in the idea that we don't know how connected it was to the MCU because like
Yeah,
we only watched it because of its connection to the MCU, but then it was like a different universe or something.
yeah. They like
Oh.
I think they were in the beginning seasons. They were really trying to connect it to the main MCU, and then in the end they're like, screw it, and then they were like, we're no longer restricted, and then that's when it started being good.
When did it come out?
Fuck it, multiverse time.
Wait, right after
It
right
ended
after
in like
Avengers.
2019.
It came out right after the first Avengers.
The first one? Oh, in 2013. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it like ended in like 2019. I remember, because I remember like people.
They
talking
really
about
kept
it.
that
Yeah.
running.
Yeah, they should have cut it.
Okay,
136 episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
too long. Aryan, give us your 1-sentence review of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
A heartbreaking action extravaganza to end Phase 4.
And do
Would you call it good?
do they handle?
I would call it really good.
Do they handle?
Wakanda evil.
Yeah, how do they do Chadwick Boseman's death? How do they write that into the film?
It's not necessarily a spoiler, but
Okay.
do you want me to go into it?
Spoiler for the
I don't
audience.
really care.
Whoever's listening, you can cut a bit, maybe a bit later. It's not
Okay,
going to be
the
that long.
spoiler
so-
is that Black Panther dies. It's not a spoiler.
What? No, dude.
Okay, just tell us about it
Oh
a
my
bit.
god.
Okay. They in Thor: Love and Thunder, they start right off into the first scene before the opening credits, like a scene,
Uh-huh.
and it was a panic in Shuri's lab in Wakanda, and they kind of didn't really give us any major details about his death. We just know that she was trying to save him, and then he dies.
Oh.
Oh, it's like some science experiment goes
Damn.
wrong and he
No,
dies.
it wasn't a science experiment. I think she was trying to save him, and that was the science.
Uh-huh.
But she couldn't do it in time, and that kind of
Okay.
plays into where we go after opening credit.
Okay.
So it's like he was injured, like in like a previous battle, and then she was trying to save him, and she failed.
I think they were trying to make it as vague as possible what actually happened to him. So we don't know how he died. We just know that something happened, some kind of like illness or
All that
injury.
Wakanda forever magic and vibranium, and they couldn't solve cancer.
Yeah, sad.
Do we actually do they CGI Chadwick Boseman into this in like some sort of after death field of plane or something?
Like the Mark
Like some
Hamill
Luke,
thing.
like Luke Skywalker in the
Oh,
Mandalorian.
I hated that so much.
They thankfully do not. That was one of the things I was scared
Oh.
about. They did not
Thank God.
at
That
all.
would be so distasteful.
That's what I would think.
Well, I mean, what is okay? At least Marvel has the decency not to do that. But then with Star Wars, they have like Luke and Leia even in whatever the
Even
ninth
the
movie
Grand
is called
Moff
And
anymore.
they did
Tarkin, you know?
Tarkin too.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time they tried it.
Man.
Okay.
Star Wars kind of sucks.
So overall, it was a good movie. Orion.
It was fantastic. I would recommend it. So high.
Wow,
So
maybe
it's
we should
one
go
of the
watch
good-
it sometimes.
I would say, in my opinion, it's probably the best movie of Phase 4.
Really, even better than
Really?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay, actually, I take that back. It's the second best movie.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Okay, because Spider-Man. Okay, that's the only movie I've seen from Phase 4 is Spider-Man, and the problem with it is that it's pretty much just nostalgia bait. But I'm a sucker for nostalgia bait.
Yeah.
So it really got me.
What's funny is I haven't even seen the like original Tobey Maguire trilogy or the Andrew Garfield 2 movies, and I still really liked it. So it wasn't like
when
when
full
I watched
nostalgia.
it, I hadn't seen it either, and then I watched all of them, and then rewatched No Way Home, and
And you're like, whoa.
yeah, I really enjoyed it the first time I watched it too, but like
Yeah.
it was
Tobey Maguire movie Spider-Man
No,
is so
yeah.
good.
Those-
Not really. They're kind of bad. The third movie's really bad, but is like the best one.
Yeah.
No, I
Somehow.
always thought that was like the third Spider-Man.
Oh,
Tobey
you were
Maguire
saying
movie.
the
I
Tobey
always-
Maguire one. I thought you were saying the Andrew Garfield one. I was like, is that a joke? Because there isn't a third one.
No, the third
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. I always thought that was like the best. I don't know why people hate it. I thought it was like that was my childhood favorite movie.
Okay. Or it's because they try to juggle like 8 different story beats in that one. They try to juggle Harry and Sandman and Venom, and then also him and MJ and her like
Yeah.
her career as like a
It's the
stage
Sinister
performer,
Four.
and then like him and him and Aunt May being poor and having no money, and they try to juggle all 7 of those things, and then they're like, okay, what do we need to spend like 10 minutes on? Oh, I have an idea. Spider-Man dancing to freaking what's his face, James
It's
Brown.
the Sinister
Mm,
Five.
yeah.
Sandman.
No, I
It's
only
Sandman.
realized that.
It's the Sinister Five. Sandman, Green Goblin, Harry, Poverty,
Venom.
Venom, and an acting career.
Yeah.
So sad.
Sinister Five is just poverty. No, I only realized it was kind of a bad movie after I watched it like 10 years after. I realized how bad it was the second time, like later in life, like just like a year ago when I watched it in preparation for No Way Home. I was like, this is a bad movie.
Yeah, movies do that when you watch them as a kid with no bearing or understanding on how what a good movie is supposed to be. Bad movies end up being good.
Yeah.
But then that also carries into the future because you're like, well, it can't be that bad because I have nostalgia for it. And so so now you have your nostalgia blindness.
Yeah.
that happens
I
to
feel
me a
that.
lot too.
Really? And what
Mhm.
examples?
For Halloween, actually, with Nicola, I wanted to watch this movie that I really liked as a kid, which is called it- either the babysitter, but she's like
The babysitter, where she's the vampire.
she's like a devil worship.
Oh.
Oh, you mean
Huh?
2 Halloween?
Oh.
ago, that's what, or like last Halloween. That's
Yeah,
not like last Halloween, but the Halloween before this most recent Halloween.
yeah.
2021
Great
Halloween.
for clarifying us, Nicola. Great for clarifying.
I was trying to, because I remember this Halloween he did not pick the movie. We were gonna watch Babysitter 2, but we said it was too boring. So then we just
And
watched.
you watched
It was
Family
not
Guy.
great.
No, we watched that, but we also watched The Conjuring.
Yes,
Conjuring.
Isn't that like also a bad movie?
It was
that, like,
not-
you laugh at?
It wasn't
fantastic.
scary, but it was really
was
funny
good.
when the person just got picked up and thrown against a wall.
It was
What are your
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite bad movies? Like on my when I think of ranking movies, I think of it from a 10 to a -10. -10 being like ironically good, like the B movie.
Oh, yeah.
which is a horrible movie, but like ironically is really good. What do you think what do you think your favorite like bad
I would
movie
have
is?
to.
Like you'll watch
I would say my
Yeah.
favorite bad movies is The Kissing Booth.
The Kissing Booth. Oh god.
Oh,
That one's just like a zero. That one's not
I
even
love
like
an
watching how
objectively
bad it
terrible
is. I just
film.
love it. Just love it.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I think my favorite, it is one of my favorite movies. Favorite bad movies is Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
I've never heard of that.
So it's so they took this like 80s samurai kung fu movie from Japan and they redubbed it and refilmed new scenes. And that's all it is. And every voice is done by one guy and it's so good.
Uh,
That does sound pretty funny.
okay.
What about you, Nicola?
Nicola?
What about you, Beck?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I don't know. The only one that can come to my head right now is like the B movie because you reminded me of it. It's kind of like
Yeah.
I know good ones, but I just like someone needs to bring them up for me to remember them.
Morbius.
Oh yeah, Morbius. Oh yeah.
None of us have seen
Okay,
Morbius.
well, I watched Morbius on my laptop right before my math final
What are you
So-
not
Oh, we
doing?
did.
Okay.
You know, we
On a-
you watching someone?
on a pirated Twitch stream.
You
Oh wait, hey Beck, how did your math
Oh
test
my
end
God,
up?
I did
the one
actually.
that you
The one that I spent half the time watching Owl House on.
yeah.
Uh,
So Aryan, for context, an episode of one of Beck's favorite shows had come out like 2 weeks prior, and he didn't realize. And then when I brought attention to it, he had to decide on whether or not he should actually try on his math test or speedrun it as fast as possible to watch the episode afterwards.
And he obviously chose the episode, correct?
I did.
Yeah.
yeah.
44 out of 50, 88%. I call that good enough.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
like
got
a
the
B.
best of both worlds.
If it's not an A, it's failure.
It's an A minus.
So, but back to the babysitter, it did not hold up, Aryan.
No, I remember it being a fantastic movie that I loved, and then when we watched it, it was weird.
I would
And-
say that movie would be a -3 because it's getting towards ironic, but it's just not ironic enough to be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Unfortunate.
The only clip I've seen from the movie is where they throw the punch bowl down and it electrocutes all the vampires and then they run away.
That sounds funny.
What I kind of like about that movie is the randomness of the people there, because it was like at a time where like certain like people were famous, like Bella Thorne
Ooh.
and some guy from YouTube, and they had just had them there because they were popular with kids.
Yeah. Was it Logan Paul?
When did that movie come out?
It was not Logan Paul. I think 2017.
Okay.
And so wait, you watched
It
it
was a
in
popular
2017
YouTuber
and
in
you
20
thought this is a good movie, but then you watched it again and you thought it's not a good movie?
Yes.
2017 isn't that long ago.
It
5
was
years.
incredibly long.
It was that is actually a long time ago. I don't know what came out. Oh yeah, no, I watched Steven Universe back then and I thought it was good then.
Wait, do you not like Steven Universe?
It's kind of not that good. It's fine, and it's fine as what it tried to do. But then I watched Future, or tried to watch Future more recently, and I was like, wow, this
Thor
sucks.
Ragnarok
Yeah, because
came
I
out
heard
in
it was
2017.
good, and then like people.
Oh God, really?
Wow.
Actually, no
That's
way.
what it says.
I have literally
Wonder
no
Woman
concept of
also
time.
came out in 2017.
What?
So
What?
did
I never
Guardians of
saw the
Galaxy
first
Volume
Wonder
2.
Woman.
And
What?
Logan.
Oh yeah.
And Despicable Me 3.
What?
And Pirates of the Caribbean,
I
Dead
have
Men Tell
no
No Tales. And
All of
the
those
original
movies-
Justice
No
League.
concept of
All of those movies feel like 5
And
years
Star
apart.
Wars and
each.
Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. And Kong Skull Island.
that came out in
The Last
2015.
Jedi. Wait, The Last Jedi was
And
2017.
Kong Skull Island.
What?
And
way.
War
We should-
for the Planet of the Apes. And
We could
Ghost
call
in
this
the Shell.
episode weird.
And
We don't
Spider-Man
know how time
Homecoming.
works.
And the Lego Batman movie. And Beauty and the Beast live
Oh,
action.
the Lego Batman
and
movie is
Smurfs
fire.
yeah, hold on.
Village. And
Let's
The
go
Fate
back.
of the
Oh,
Furious.
can we talk about the
Fast and
Lego
the Furious
movies?
8 came
Yes.
out in
Can we talk about the-
2017. 50 Shades Darker
we
came
talk
out in
about the Lego
2017.
movie?
Pitch
Nicola,
Perfect
we get
3
it.
came
Oh
out in
my god,
2017.
Nicola, stop reading the
Transformers: The Last
Wikipedia
Knight
page.
came out in 2017.
Can we mute
Power
him
Rangers
quickly?
came out in 2017. The Mummy came out in 2017. Paddington 2 came out in
Alright, cool.
2017.
Okay.
Alien Covenant
Can we
came out
talk
in
about the
2017.
Lego movie?
Yeah, let's talk
Kingsman: The
about the
Ghost
Lego
Journal
movie.
came out in 2017. The Emoji Movie came out in
Okay, I muted him
2017.
again.
Jumanji:
Okay, so
Welcome to the Jungle
what,
came
what
out
are
in
your guys'
2017.
opinions on Lego?
I thought it's a
think
really
they're
good
love-
movie.
I think they're really
Can I rank
good.
them?
The first one, to my memory, was phenomenal.
Pure
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah, the first one is so good.
Yes, I haven't watched
the second one is a little bit
My-
worse. And the Lego Batman movie.
That's awesome.
Oh boy,
It's
that one's
so good.
Blade
good.
Runner 2049, John Wick Chapter
Oh my
2,
god!
and
Oh my
The
God.
Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, and
Oh, the
Coco
Nut-
all
I
came
watched
out
the
in
Nut Job
2017.
Wait, I thought the second Nut Job came out like
It came
this
out in
year.
2017.
No way.
God.
Jigsaw
Tell me they
came
got
out
a
in
sequel.
2017. The Lego Ninjago
God.
movie
Oh my
came out
God,
in 2017.
Okay, I
Oh.
serve muted him again.
That's the one Lego movie I didn't see because I never watched Lego Ninjago.
Lego
I heard that was a terrible
Ninjago, the movie was not good.
Surf's Up 2, Wave
When I
Mania
saw it.
came
I
out in
didn't-
20.
oh my,
Oh, dude, have you guys seen
Surf's Up
Surf's
too.
Up?
I feel like I did
I
such a
love
long
Surf's
time
Up.
ago.
dude, Surf Stuff's so
Dunkirk
good. It has
came out in
Shia
2017.
LaBeouf and the best sound.
So did Get Out.
No, Surf Ups is so
The
good.
Boss Baby came out in 2017.
What?
The Boss Baby
No
came out in
way.
2017?
No way.
What happened in
God.
2017?
It was the golden age of
2017 was a
cinema.
magical
Smoking
year.
Crack in
It was just the
2017.
it was
Especially
the
for
golden era.
happened?
their
Guys,
studios.
9/11 happened in
The
2017.
golden era of movies.
The movie 9/11 came out
That's
in
so-
2017.
Oh.
There was a movie?
Yes, it was.
I mean, there's
5
so many
people find
movies
themselves
based
trapped
on
in an
it.
elevator during the September 11th attacks. They soon work together, never giving up hope to try to escape before the unthinkable happens.
Do they die?
I didn't.
I don't know. I
but-
haven't watched
But
it.
they were trapped in the elevator.
Also,
They were already trapped in the elevator. What unthinkable? What more
The second
unthinkable
plane.
was there?
oh no.
Then they would have been fine if it was already in the first one. I'm
Okay,
confused.
Happy
Back
Death
to the
Day came
Lego
out in
movie.
2017.
Death Day is really
Oh
good.
my god. I haven't seen it. I want
Death
to.
Day
though.
2
I,
isn't
that
good,
was a movie
but Death Day
I-
1 is pretty good.
I don't really like horror movies, but that was one that I saw and was like, that looks cool because I'm a sucker for repeating day kind of plot
Over
line.
yeah, I love time loop films.
100. There's 5 pages of just movies that came out in 2017.
Yeah,
Hundreds of movies
probably.
come out each
Wait, have
year,
you-
Nicola.
Well, yeah, but like so many
There's
of them
pro-
are like I remember.
Okay, go to 2018. Go to
Yeah, but, like,
2018 right now and see how many movies came out that year, okay?
Okay, let's go to 2018.
Don't go to 2018. Please
Let's see
don't
what movies
do that.
came out in 2018.
Oh no.
Okay, but in the meantime, while he does that,
Black Panther.
Aryan, what?
My Hereditary.
Alright, what do you
Mile
think of
22.
She-Hulk?
Avengers Infinity War. Ready Player One.
Uh,
Deadpool 2.
She-Hulk
Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse.
was
A Quiet Place.
good.
Oh, it's
Aquaman. Halloween. Annihilation.
Back
Bohemian
to
Rhapsody.
mutant.
The Grinch.
alright. I muted him again.
Bohemian
Listen,
Rhapsody was
Mission Impossible.
2018?
Oh my
Fallout.
god.
Tomb Raider. Robin Hood.
Okay, Nicola, we get
Venom.
it.
How are all these?
Nicola.
Crazy
Think
Rich
what we get.
Asian. Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Oh my god, I watched that in theaters.
Oh, you did?
It was not as good as the first one.
I didn't see the first one.
That's
Solo. The
It
Nun.
was trying to pull a little.
Solo was
woman.
2018? That movie was ass.
It's
Was
what
a change the year it
Solo?
came out. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What?
Jurassic World.
was cool
Fallen
because it has
Kingdom,
Paul Rudd.
Okay.
That was 20.
Ocean's 8. And that's 2018 now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Black KKK.
How many
Klansman.
oceans are there?
That's a movie.
It's a good movie.
Cool.
An African American police officer in Colorado Springs successfully manages to infiltrate the local KKK branch with the help of Jewish Segregate, who eventually becomes based on actual events.
Oh.
My
Good
God,
for
they make
them.
two.
Oh, I think I did.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he has to like fight the Russian guy?
That's Rocky.
No,
Rocky 4.
No. The son fights the Russian's son.
Oh,
It's
they
like-
fight the Russian son?
Yeah, it's like the dude that got killed by the Russian, his son has
Yeah,
to fight
I
the
know.
Russian
See-
son.
Rocky's my favorite. Is my mom's favorite movie
Really?
series.
Came out.
Yeah. Cool.
So I feel like I lost track of what I was gonna say.
She-Hulk. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, yeah. Okay, what do you think of She-Hulk? Because that's like been the most
Oh,
hated
no.
Marvel thing I could think in like a while.
I
I
agree.
after watching it fully, I don't. It's definitely not the best show, but I don't think it was awful. I liked. There were some like portions of it that I really, really like loved.
I like the finale.
I'm assuming has everyone seen it? Can I say stuff?
No,
I have
no,
not, but I don't
I've
care.
seen
so
all of it, too.
Spoil away.
Okay,
Uri already spoiled it for me, but I also don't care either
great.
way.
I loved Madison
oh yeah.
with a Y and two N's. Fantastic character. I would love to see her in many new projects with Wong. Also, I love Wong. I'm a giant Wong stan.
Everyone
Who
loves
doesn't
Wong.
like Wong?
is
Crazy people. That's who.
Yeah. They're
You're
nuts.
right.
Yeah, I like the Abomination stuff. That was kind of cool.
I forgot that the Abomination is alive. The one Marvel villain they don't kill.
You know what's funny? In the show,
Yeah.
like she as a lawyer, she gets him like off, like gets him free from prison, and then he starts like a yoga retreat
Good
yeah.
for him.
until he like becomes the Abomination again and like returns back to prison or something.
Next week, instead of just doing a
Wait.
normal episode, we should just have 20 minutes of me just naming every year.
That could
Maybe
be
just like an
special.
hour from 2010 to 2020.
Okay, well, I know this. Arya, I'm sorry that this got detracked by Nicola, but he's your friend. You know who he is.
I've
but
never met this man in my life.
Okay, so we're reaching the time where we have to cut off our pod. So just give us a recommendation of something the audience should watch, and yeah.
Baseline. Watch The Office.
Absolutely
Watch
not.
Brooklyn
Absolutely
Nine-Nine.
not. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yes. The Office,
Watch-
absolutely not.
Watch WandaVision. Watch all Marvel TV shows and movies. And
really
most of all,
Really?
currently, watch White Lotus because I like it a lot.
Yeah, watch
Because whatever you
White
do,
Lotus.
do not
I'll
watch The
probably check-
Office.
I'll check out White Lotus.
The amount of hatred I have for The Office will never be quelled.
Why?
I fucking hate
Why
The
do you
Office.
not like The Office?
It's like the
He hasn't even given it a
How?
try.
It's like the
you
best
made me
show
give
of
it
all
a try.
time.
I hated it so much. It was just not funny or interesting.
It's like the best show of
I
all
love
time.
It was
What?
just not funny.
It's so good.
Well, that's just Nicola.
It was just simply
Yeah.
not funny.
What's not
If you have
funny
an
about it?
episode,
Oh yeah,
The
he spilled
Office,
his
I
chili,
will
guys.
gladly
Please
join.
laugh, guys. He spilled his chili. You need to understand complex humor, guys. He spilled his chili. Why aren't you laughing?
No, that one's not funny. That one's sad and depressing. That's the best written scene in all of television, aside from True Colors from Amphibia, the season finale of season 2
it is the best episode of the show.
of cinema history. in
Okay,
fact.
well, Aryan, I'd like to say that we hope to have you again, preferably on a time where Nicola isn't available. This is what we say to end our pod. Always use Celsius. Thanks for listening. Can you say that for us?
always use Celsius. Thanks for listening.